Dami. How are
How
you
you
doing?
doing? I'm very all right. How are things in your end?
Good. I've seen you being all over social media.
Oh, girl, I'm just, I need to,
Trying to
no,
impress people
alive and well.
by traveling and partying all the time.
Yes, well, so you would think, but sometimes, social media could be a tool for good and also a tool for bad. So, hopefully, this movie, Not Okay, produced by Queen Shepherd,
Did you?
2022. This is going to be an example of having FOMO or envy or using social media to the betterment of yourself and also to crimination of self. So for those that don't know, we're here to review Not Okay 2022 with Zoe Deutsch. So this movie essentially just kind of follows Zoe's character, Danny, who essentially just planted herself in Paris. And when I say planted herself, really, she really used Photoshop to, impose that she was there. And then there was a terrorist attack that happened, and essentially this movie kind of follows, what the day in the life of a survivor could potentially look like, and and her journey and her growth through that process. So some good, some bad. How about you? How did you so as someone like yourself who's also a traveler and who's very much on social media and enjoys Adobe Photoshop in some elements, I'm sure, what do you think about this movie?
I haven't used Photoshop for none of my pictures.
Sorry, no filters, no Photoshop whatsoever, huh?
Just probably just some coloring stuff, but I don't really go and smooth stuff. And on the other hand, I don't edit my pictures. So the photographers do. So I don't know what they do.
Mm.
Okay. About this movie, actually, like this is the first movie of Zoe Deutsch that I've watched, but
Ah,
I really like her. I think she's a great actress. She's so funny. I guess she's very good, at comedy. I think she needs to do a lot of comedy. Although I've read somewhere that she's done like different types of movies, so she really like, she's very talented at different role. It doesn't have to be comedy all the time, but I think she's a very good actress. And I did my research. She was born in LA, California, and her mom, actually, her dad was is Russian Jewish and Polish Jewish, and the mom is German Irish. That's probably like her last name is a kind of Deutsch, I guess. And but she was born in US, and she's always been a dancer for her whole life, and having studied jazz, hip hop, and ballet, I guess. But then she started to act because her mom is an actress. Her name is Lynn Thompson, if I'm not Leah Thompson. That actually she was acting with her mom on the movie Mayor Cupcake. Yeah, so basically like her mom and her sister, they're also actress. So that's why she got into acting, and then she did classes with this like young actors space with Patrick Day, which is like a coach for the Jessica Biel and it was like Emma Stone. That actually I was googling Patrick Day to see, okay, let's see if I can get some online classes with him, but it's for young adults, not
yeah.
me.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it was very interesting. Her life was very interesting, but I think she's a very good actress.
Yeah.
I love the movie. It was very interesting. It was really like basically for people that are trying to do crazy things to just get impression from people on social media. I've heard something, I don't know if you know it or not, like a couple of years ago, there was a girl like that she threw a chair out of the window in Canada just to get views on Instagram, but the police came.
Wait,
I don't know if you
I
it
didn't
was
catch
it was
that. Yes.
yeah, it was all over news in Canada, and she was just so happy about it because she got a lot of followers. And like the girl who threw a chair. So I'm like, people are going crazy over
It's true.
social.
Like as I think millennials, we live a lot of our lives online, so therefore, sometimes our social value or social currency is equivalent to how many followers we have and how we're able to connect with other people. And I think this is also why maybe this movie is kind of geared to those millennials or those young folks. For those that don't know, that's also who else is in this movie is also Dylan O'Brien, who is the face of Maze Runner and also in Teen Wolf, the MTV TV show. So these are essentially the young actors of tomorrow that are essentially making names for themselves. But ultimately, yes, you're right that for clout or for popularity, there's people do some strangest things, right? I've also seen people, buy bots online, right, to get the social currency up. But hopefully, this is not something that a lot of people overly utilize and over subscribe to, because sometimes there'll be people like Dani in this world that are increasing their online popularity through fake news, essentially, right? So
But she needed love. Like she needed love, and sometimes, and I have a feeling that so many people on social media, they are like thirsty for people to love them and give them attention. Probably they're not getting that somewhere else, so they try to get it from social media.
yes. So I think they even the movie kind of a little bit sets that up too, right? At start, that she was a person that wasn't very popular, didn't have very much of a social life kind of thing. So, and people didn't give her that interaction, right? So even if it's platonic love or romantic love, she wasn't getting that kind of attention, as you kind of rightfully saw. But anyways, the movie itself, it's actually geared to be like a romantic, it's supposed to be a comedy. Yeah, it's supposed to be a comedy, and I would think like this movie at some points it felt quite predictable, and there was definitely the way they even directed, at least the way that it was shot. They brought out like different chapters, the different sections. This is something new from what I've seen from Quinn Shepard, who also directed Midnight Sun and Unaccompanied Minors. She So I guess her way of telling the story was quite different this time, but however, it breaks it up a little bit. But it's the kind of movie that you kind of want to put on a Friday evening and just not think too much about. So yeah, so I thought it was all right. Were there any other big scenes or anything that jumped out to you that you liked? Fair. So
No,
I think for me, what I thought was really interesting. There was a party for influencers, and it made me think of the times that you've gone to different places where you get free swag or you take home things. So I think to even get in the door of those influencer parties, you have to have a certain number of followers. And I was just thinking to myself, does this even exist? Am I missing out on this kind of lifestyle? Because they got
it
like
exists.
free teeth whitener. Yeah. So I was like, oh, cool. I could save myself a few dollars if I got a free teeth whiteners and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know. So, and someone like models, I'm sure you guys are able to go out and maybe you get some connections because of your viewership, or you're able to get to some nice restaurants, eat.
Yeah. There's an app which is called Beauty Pass that actually I have to go. I can go to some restaurants and I just need to post a story. That's it. I just need to
There you
eat
go.
and post a story and then leave.
So it does exist. Okay. Well, us the common folk, we look at you and say, now we understand. Now we understand. Anyways, so what would you score this movie out of 10?
I would say 5.
Yeah,
It was nice. It was fun, but it wasn't like I would be, oh my God. It was like a kind of like, typical movie. You want to chill on Sunday, just watch something.
exactly. Funny enough, I also gave it a 5 out of 10. just because to me it was quite predictable, and it neither changed me from the start to the end, but however, it is something that you can put on and say, okay, I've seen it, and move on with your life. So IMDb gave it a 6 out of 10, and Rotten Tomato gave it a 71%. So more people enjoyed it than us, I guess. So for
Yeah.
those that are watching, let us know if you think for clout, like, subscribe, and share, and then also let us know what scenes of this movie stuck out to you.
And
So
follow us on Instagram, the same account on Instagram.
get our viewership up and our follower numbers up. Let's go. We are not Danny. Hashtag I'll be okay. We'll be okay. Hashtag salty popcorn. All right. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. Have a good one.
Bye.